I am strong. I am fearless. I am courageous. I am beautiful. I can do all things. I am created to be me. I am a woman. And I am funky.
Surprised to see yourself in a film?
Yeah, it's not embarrassing. It's just, it's funny to see myself actually on TV and on film.
What was it like? This is your first movie, although you've done some videos. Was it different than you anticipated?
Yeah, it's different than doing video, definitely. Video is easier for me because I'm doing my music, I'm playing me, and doing a movie without having my drums is like taking a bottle away from a baby, and it felt kind of strange.
Now, for those of people who have not seen your videos and you say you're playing yourself, what is yourself?
Crazy, you know, sexy at times, and just having a good time, really.
What do you think distinguishes you from other rock and roll stars that are out there now? There are a lot of women coming on the scene. What do you do differently?
Nobody plays drums.
That's a very good answer.
Life is all about special moments, joy, uplifting our youth, keeping active, and having conversations with our friends, even lusting over our shoes and dancing when no one is watching. It's the music that keeps us alive and stays with us for years to come. A little movie called Krush Groove would do just that. This episode's guest, my dear friend and co-star, is known for his many works in film and Broadway. It is my pleasure to welcome Mr. Blair Underwood. I don't believe it! Oh my God!
What's up with you?
How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great. You look wonderful.
Thank you. You do too. I love all this right there.
That's the pandemic scruff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it looks amazing.
Oh, thank you. You're very kind. I love it. Well, listen, with everything that we're doing now in this pandemic remotely, it's going to be hard to kind of get back to stuff, you know, like leaving the house.
Yeah.
Now, what I do miss is the live theater, though, being on stage.
You have to. So were you on theater before the pandemic happened?
Yeah. So I was doing a play called A Soldier's Play on Broadway right when we shut down. So our last, thankfully, we were supposed to close March 15th on Sunday. We ended up taking our last bow on Friday. So we thankfully were able to finish our run except for 2 days.
Wow. So, life is interesting.
No, it is. You know, I've always felt like what we do as entertainers is, I don't think it's overstating it, but there is a noble cause to it. Mm-hmm. You know, when we first met doing Krush Groove, I was 21, 22 or whatever. I just kind of got into the business, and, you know, it was my first big break, and, you know, it was the beginning. It was 34, about 36 years ago now. And, you know, as we grow up and we mature, you realize that it's, first of all, it's not just about, like I was, just about trying to get that next job, get that big gig. And, you know, then it becomes about so many other things and other people. And then you just kind of just put it in perspective, and you realize that, you know, what we do is not just about an individual pursuit, but especially in times like now, I'm just reminded so much of how badly we need escapism and to be lifted, our spirits to be lifted.
We do.
Yo, here come my brother Russell, man. What's up, man? A lot more cousins here. This is Russell. That's Karen.
Hey, Karen.
That's Sheila.
Hi.
Hey, I like your song up there. It was good. Real good.
Thank you. So let's go to Krush Groove.
Woo!
Yeah. Krush Groove, like you said, 30-something, whatever, years ago.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, you were amazing in that film, by the way. You were fantastic in that. You know, I told you, I texted you that my kids are now 19, 22, and 23. So neither one of my kids, nor my wife, had ever seen Krush Groove. Had ever seen it.
I couldn't believe that.
I've never seen it. Well, you know, honestly, they haven't seen most of my work. They've seen all of my live theater work. They'll come to the theater and they'll watch it. But you know, a lot of my stuff when they were little kids, it was like for older kids demographically. So it just wasn't their thing. But my son, my oldest son, Paris, he's 23. He's a music producer now. And then he kept hearing people talk about, well, Krush Groove, you know, your dad was in there. He goes, yeah, I've never seen that. I should probably check that out at some point. So he was the one who said, you know what, I want to sit down and watch it with you guys. So Christmas Eve, we sat down and watched the whole thing, and it was just fun to see it. But you know what's interesting too? These kids today.
We were kids then, but okay.
We were kids then.
Yeah.
But they're fascinated with the 80s.
Yes, they are.
Like you said, it came out October 85. We shot it, I think, January, February 85, earlier that year.
Yeah.
And so they're fascinated by the clothing, the music, the style, just everything that was the 80s.
Yeah.
That really now, I mean, that's a few decades ago now.
Yeah.
They were really fascinated by that, and they were fascinated by how skinny Dad was. Couldn't believe how young.
Yeah, we were all pretty small, actually.
Yeah, crushes on you now forever. So,
No, I pulled out of the jacket I wore in Love Bazaar when we did Love Bazaar scene in the club.
Hell yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
This is the jacket right here. I know.
So you got the wardrobe. Now, did you bring your wardrobe, or they created a wardrobe and gave it to you?
No, I got it. They didn't give me any money for anything. Sorry, Michael. It's funny, though, because this jacket was made by Prince's wardrobe team. It's one of the jackets we had. But then the pants and some of the other vests and different things that we had, I pulled a bunch of stuff for the whole band. That's how I dressed everyone for that scene. I was in the garment district out in New York trying to find clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Sheila, I got to thank you because, you know, when we did Krush Groove, I was right out of college, as you know, and I was green. I didn't know what I was doing really on a set or in the professional world. I knew about the craft of acting. I thought I knew. But you know, you were so welcoming. I was nervous because I'm with the great Sheila E. But you were so accommodating and easy and made it easy for me. And I will forever be indebted to you for that. So thank you.
That's so sweet. No, listen, when we did the screen test, and I remember looking back at it, and I thought, wow, I'm gonna do this movie with this professional actor who is just amazing, and he's so good. I don't know if I can do this. Like, I was nervous because I thought it just seemed so natural. It's like you weren't acting, you were just being the character. And I didn't know what that was. I didn't understand that at all. Not at all. So for me, it was interesting to do that. But I remember that I ended up quitting the movie. Do you remember that? Did you know about that?
What?
Yeah, I quit. So
they have kept that from me.
Yeah, maybe they didn't tell you because I didn't say anything, but I didn't know if you knew or not. So I quit the film because there were so many things that were happening on set, and I didn't realize there was an issue. So me being a West Coast artist, coming over to the East Coast, doing Holly Rock and Love Bazaar, a lot of the rappers and some of the people within the film were really rude to me, and I was like, I don't need to take this. I don't need to be here. They were really consistently dogging me every day and saying and doing stuff. So
saying things to you directly?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because they were saying, why are you trying to be a female rapper and you're not even a rapper? You play music or whatever. You know, they were just like that kind of thing. And I said, I'm not trying to be a rapper. I just love rapping. I mean, if I can rap, I'm going to try it. If no, I just always felt that I could at least try something. I hated when people said, no, you can't do something, you know? So I would always go, well, let me just try. And so I went to my publicist. I said, okay, I quit. I'm done. They had to talk me into staying because I was exhausted. And I'm like, I don't need to do this. I just came off tour. I can go home. So I ended up staying, but yeah.
You know, so you quit for a day and then came back a day later?
Yeah.
You know what I did? Because I didn't know that you'd actually quit, but I remember you and I did have a conversation. I think we were doing the final scene. But you were talking about how it was just some elements that were just working against you. Let's just say that.
Right.
But let me ask you this, though. So here we are all these years later. In retrospect, are you glad you stayed? Are you glad you did it?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, absolutely. It was something that I always wanted to do. And I one thing on my bucket list that I could say, hey, I did that. And not only that, I don't think any of us really knew what that movie really did for people. Them telling me the East Coast and the West Coast coming together in a sense, because I was West Coast, they were East Coast, but the different genres from the BC Boys to, we had New Edition in there as well. You know, there's so many rappers. It was a just an amazing time to have all of these artists together in one place and showcasing their music.
Yeah. And it had all those elements. I mean, of the people who were hot in the industry at that time, and like you said, new faces, and they become iconic figures. No, it's an interesting journey for me because I was, it was a huge break for me, to have a lead in a Warner Brothers studio film, like a year out of college. But it's a tricky thing, with I guess any career. I knew then that I wanted to do what I feel God has allowed me to do, was become a dramatic actor, a respected actor, to do Broadway and do those things, Shakespeare and all those things that I started training when I was in college. And I didn't want to be known as just that actor who did that one type of movie. But I tell you, I remember when that movie hit and the way the audience responded to it, mostly young teenagers, but that demographic that loved rap music, and it was crossing over then, like especially with the Beastie Boys, Rick Rubin, and it was an amazing thing. And it was about maybe 15, 20 years later when I had to get out of my own way. When I realized what it meant to people, it spoke to the innocence and the nostalgia of their teen years or their elementary school years. And also when rap music was innocent. Before the hardcore ego rapping and gangster rap and all that, there was still an innocence to it. And from that point on, around the time when Michael Schultz and I did the voiceover for the DVD 25th year anniversary, I had long just really embraced it and grateful for that, because it gave me my start in this industry in a big way. So
I didn't realize that was your first film, Krush Groove was?
Yeah, I just come out of college maybe 5-6 months prior to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah. So no, I love it. So now here I am as this old man sharing it with my young 20-year-old kids.
I love it. I love it. Well, I have two things to ask you about. The first one was Michael Schultz, the director, tells me I have to slap Run.
Yeah.
And I had to slap him, but for real slap him, but not tell him that I was going to slap him. So when I went and slapped him, I slapped him hard. Now, I'm a drummer. I hit him really. I slapped him in the face really hard. And I remember I was a little bit afraid because I said, "Are you sure it's going to be okay to slap him?" He goes, No, because he's so quiet and everything. Everything will be good. Just slap him really hard so I can get his. So when I slapped him, if you look at that scene, he goes like this because he was getting ready to hit me.
Yeah, I remember that.
He was getting ready to hit me. He was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, I was getting ready to punch you. Like, you can't just come slap me.
Woo.
That was an interesting scene for me. And then the love scene we did.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was going to say, we say love scene now. My kids, my daughter, when we're watching it at Christmas Eve, she's like, okay, this is the love scene. She goes under the sheet. I don't want to see this. She kind of halfway looks. She goes, that's it? Oh, that's not that bad. I mean, but by today's standards.
Exactly.
I mean,
so that was a big deal back then. It's just like, yeah.
I remember it well. I had a tear coming down my eye, and you said, "Why are you crying? Why are you trying to cry? Stop trying to cry."
Did you really?
I look at it now, and I think they actually put some drops in my eyes.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah,
I said,
some kind of oil.
Yes, I said my acting teacher would kill me right now. She said, "You said why?" I said, "Because I gotta have fake tears." When I look at it 30 years later, I say, "You should have been crying anyway, brother. You should have been like, just deal with it."
It's amazing. I'm glad that we did it. It was. I'm glad that I did it. I know for sure.
I'm glad I did it too. I'm so glad.
Krush Groove is something that I'll never forget, and because of that, we've become friends. And there are a lot of people still talking about it, and it comes on television, and it's still touching people, and I love that. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah. Well, I'm so glad to see you and talk with you and reminisce. I just want to say personally, I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of who you are and your family and what you've become, the man that you are, and you're just amazing. And when I saw you in the play, that's just a whole nother element I had no idea, and I was just like, wow. I mean, You are incredible. I love you so much. So thank you.
Well, I love you too, Sheila. Now, you know I feel the same way about you. I mean, just the person you are. You've always been supportive. I mean, the fact that you came to the play. Like I said, I thank you from the moment I met you, and you put my heart at ease because I saw the big star, and I was just this young kid who was just coming out of college, and day one you've always been supportive, and then also the woman you are and have become. You know, the different levels of accomplishments you had all along the way as one of the GOATs.
Oh, thank you.
Greatest of all time.
Thank you. You as well. Well, thank you so much.
I love that. Well, you keep in touch, and let's do something. We'll find something else to do. It's time.
It's time. It's 2021.
That's right.
I love you, man.
Got number love for you.
Mwah. Bye.
All right, take care.
Hi everyone, on this episode of Sheila E TV, I wanted to show you one of the outfits from Krush Groove. This is the one that I wore for Holly Rock, the song that I recorded and performed in Krush Groove. Incredible work, beating, I mean, all of it's just incredible what they did. All the Amadeus type outfits that we did during that time were made by Western Costume. This is also the cover of my Romance 1600. And I also had, and if you check it out, you look at the photo, the album cover, Romance 1600, you'll see this outfit. Again, everything that they made is just incredible. I mean, if you look at the sleeve right here, the cuff, it's beautiful. And they inlaid right here a butterfly. Even back then, the butterfly. I love the sleeves. I wanted them long, so when I played, you could see a little flashy flash right there. And look at all this and the beading, everything. I mean, it's just incredible what they did, the work. I just love it. And the long tails and everything. It's still beautiful. Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining me on Sheila E TV. I hope you had an amazing time because I did. I want to thank my amazing special guest, Mr. Blair Underwood. Thank you so much. I love you. Yes, Krush Groove is in the house. All right. Thank you so much. We'll see you next Saturday. Bye.